the person wey I meet no bin gree talk to me on this, as over 90% of the 7 million of Salone population depend on rice as staple food, wey plenty pan this rice na imported one, and CTC na the major importer of rice. But with observation from Salone Standards Bureau, wey say this company in rice and sugar bag them no reach the amount wey dem say dey inside the bag, don be serious concern, especially like the way our rice there na the country where person go pull money for full bag but not get wetin e expects. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa S. Kamara.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody elect you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office elect you not get the account number. Buy Ed-Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Million Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Program is still listening to our Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Professor Moriba Jawad na the studio this morning. We na for the Moriba Jawad, we na the Minister of Environment. They this morning they tell we about how it work na the ministry and self plan the way it gets for protect Salone environment. Now among all the environmental issues where the country be done they get over the years, now we dey na the rainy season. Also one na the most urgent environmental issues them where your ministry they plan now for look into for ensure say during this rainy season flooding for example no pass mark, and self we been see we be don't get mudslides at some point, and other issues then the way we don't they come up, but environment issues them. Also not the most urgent one where you they try for tackle during this rainy season.
Thank you very much. The main thing in this country na education, sensitization, and creating awareness in people. That's the summary. Now, in this country, over 70% of people then not sabi English book, because they will say they learn Arabic or other things then. So what would they do now for educate people then about preserving the environment? And I start this when I be the EPA and still continue on. You don't find out say environmental issues, a lot of people don't become aware on environmental issues, and that would they really preach. The other issue we talk about this rainy season about flooding. How can we mitigate this type of flooding? Simple. The flooding they be simply because one, we don't cut all the trees then within the catchment areas, within the hilltops. So whenever it rain, the soil loose. The trees do not get roots where they hold the soil together, so they get this huge or massive flooding where they be. You remember the motorman incident? Now because then trees will not be there. If they be there, maybe that enough for don't happen. The other thing now about the plastics and used clothing. This now the menace we get in this country. Anywhere you go, you see the whole street littered with plastics. So what the ministry don't do, we don't prepare a document, a cabinet document who they present to government on plastic policy in this country. We need to regulate the use of plastics. We need to get recycling plants where you go able to recycle youths there where not get job. They can go on the street, pick them plastics there, bring another plastic recycling plant and get money. We don't see this in other countries. For example, Rwanda. In Rwanda, youths there, they get over $200 per month. Then they go dig ground for pool plastic. I'm not saying now the one when they don't have ground. So if plastic they cause this problem because now they go block then waterways there, then gutters there, then drainages there. Then they did to this flooding.
So, Mr. Minister, why you think say educating the public and raising awareness? So if you look back, they tell you they as EPA as a chairperson, now they tell you don't they do, and other agencies they also don't they do the same thing in terms of telling people the thing they for do for protect the environment. In all of this, why you think say these are the first solution? I mean, for avoid any disaster will for happen during this rainy season.
Yeah, because you need for set the people their mindset. For example, people then they still go build homes na hillside, na hilltops, na catchment areas. Now what we don't do is we have an environmental court. This country get laws there, but people they know they follow the laws there, and that's the sad part of it. So what we don't do, we don't get establish an environmental court, and we also don't train the judges on environmental issues. What will be the happen first time? Somebody go build house here and that we're not supposed to build. Where you go, you say I get permit, you don't get permit, or at the bill after some time I will go apply for the permit. We all know the games the way they play. You national union. So what you don't decide for do, when we catch you, you go to that court day, the case will be expedited.
No matter how that the person be, or involved in this.
No matter how that the person be. Let me tell you now this. There is no development way not get impact on the environment. The way is how you mitigate them.
You been talk about issue we get for do with recycling policy we see.
Correct.
You try for work on the issue of recycling. Not today we begin here na salon. Even the EPA itself, also you been there formally as chairman. We be done they get in at this same studio. So then they can tell you about plans and we then get for going to the same process where you talk about. So waiting you feel say we be miss at that stage. The way make up till now we still there on the issue of recycling.
I'm glad for telling you we get one company we don't already established. They don't just complete the EIA license. It's a process, okay? Once that don't kick off, other one they will come because they see if you go now the eastern part of Freetown, like one side they will call Botomoku, go there, people that they take plastic, put it inside big bags there, they export them to Guinea. So if they are outside, they carry you plastic, go you get money, you get you really nothing. This is not bread and butter issue. People that will really welcome that idea. And this policy what they tell you about is very holistic, it's very inclusive. I'm a Sierra Leonean, and they tell us say not all my go buy that water rubber, that where would they drink, okay? But cool people then are the plastic that they use. And you have to be very realistic. We don't have potable water in Freetown. You know they go na tap, you just open tap, you drink water from them. So the final say everybody na the plastic. So how are we going to get rid of this plastic? You have to provide alternatives. And in that policy, all that are highlighted.
The policy, how soon we go see una develop and all?
I don't already submit them. And I think next 2 weeks or so, I can able to present it to cabinet, approve them, hopefully. I pray for that. Then you will go through parliament. It's a process. But at the assurance say it will be very, because the president very passionate. Anytime when the president they drive, they can call and say, hey, look, outside plastic there. So plastic, these are the issues really, the plastic, the deforestation, education. These are the three issues that if we will solve in this country, I think our environment will be fine.
So looking at the issue of people who they build on the wrong side and at the hills, I mean, you don't say now on the court an environmental court for address the issue here. But when you look back, another one would say the way people don't build rapidly, you think say an environmental court, I mean, that is solution to this. Why not come out strong and take the necessary action?
Yeah, thank you very much. I can always say anything what they do, than the leadership. If you get weak government, weak governance, now they lead to the thing there. Now, what did the president don't do? They don't create 3 interministerial committees. 3 on environment, on lands, and water. Yesterday, Seth, the interministerial committee on lands we meet. We don't realize say there was a green belt where say nobody not for go beyond this. But that was really not demarcated because of free governance. So now what will they do? Yesterday, we don't put a budget together. We present them to cabinet and to the finance minister for demarcate the green belt.
But
they
what
put
you mean
pillar
when say
there.
it not be demarcated, because we all know say the green belt has been there, and NPAA now one body will always be done the talk about how they don't work for ensure say them protect that particular area there.
Yeah, it been there, but where you go, you team up the, if they ask you where the green belt, where the line, you know, sure. Because it don't exist. It there on paper. So now what would they do? Would they put pillar there in between one pillar, other pillar? Then the idea what I bring yesterday is, since this year I'll come to that later, would they plant 5 million trees between now and the next 3-4 years. This year would they plant 1.2 million trees. So we'll put one pillar here about 10 meters high, the other pillar the 10 meters high, with they plant trees there in between. If you can now, you na man, you na woman, you go beyond that point there with the broken hose, we don't even think.
So looking at the measure we talk about for take care of the environment, the green belts are one, we already be done it, but people yet still flout the law and bill. I will not see nothing come out of that. In your case now, where you they talk, most people can say the one way they build up the hills. I mean, are people of high influential in our society, not to poor man they build up the hills.
Correct.
So people can say that can make the necessary action. They not can see it taken na them particular side there. In your case, how you gonna make sure say your words not just be something empty but with action?
Yeah, now this Abi they say lawlessness, because people that they build side where they're not supposed to build. Just 2 weeks ago, I didn't have my house. Now the community people then go meet me. They say people that they build up Angola town, that they build now their waterways then. Okay? Now I say, okay, I will summon a team together. So the new EPA boss, some directors there, then come, we'll go there on Sunday. We look at 6 houses where they build. Now the waterway, none of them not be get permit. We'll ask them, they say, well, we'll get the permit later. And that's so it be done, they happen. We all know this country. People, they find them ways there that the various ministries they were involved. This is what we are going to stop.
All right. Continue for the with Win at the studio. I'm Professor Fode Moriba Jawad. We will come back to you, Minister of Environment. We will look at more issues in the program. But quickly, we want to apologize to the Facebook viewers them in case you get difficulty for Get We on Facebook live stream this morning. Just switch over to YouTube and search for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM as we get issues for Get We live streaming on Facebook this morning. Go to YouTube and search for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM as we did live na YouTube. The program they continue. They look at other issues at the program now. Also, the chairman for the Staff Welfare Association at the Freetown City Council, Abdul Rahman Savage, and other council workmen them. In someone protest don't raise concern say, but 3 months now council not pay their salary and serve. They make allegations and say the mayor Yvonne Akisoya not agree work with them. Abdul Rahman Savage talk this inside one interview with Trade Democracy, where some workmen at the Freetown City Council been protest Wednesday, July 1 this year at the Freetown City Council and head office for sake of the better condition of service where they say they not get. Well, for more on this, let we join Cherno Jallo. Good Morning Salone, they continue. We're gonna cut quickly as we get issues forget upload of the FCC story. We're gonna cut also inside the alleged treason case na High Court. Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens don't sentence retired Major Alfred Palo Conte for go jail for 2 years because the juror them found guilty say he been carry go loaded weapon at public place, but they not found guilty of the treason. Charge them way immediately up na courts for. For no wetin be happen yesterday inside the final decision panda alleged treason case. Let we join Usman Kamara.
May 29 this year, na the dates where the treason trial case starts na High Court before Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens. And from that time day to now, Radio Democracy don't update the public, but waiting the happen na court. For you, we not in na court. Wednesday, July 1st this year, finally, the treason case done na court. But before the jurors them give judgment, Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens been read in summing up to the jurors them, when a 64 page, and say he go read a one by one and explain to the jurors them for guide them during the term where they give judgment to retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, Sir Anthony Sina, and Prince George Hughes. The reason for this, according to Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens, now for member the jurors them, all waiting don't pass from where the case begin and explain to them, but the law, we make it ask the juror them for listen careful to all waiting in the read. Inside the summing up, the judge may read the state prosecuting team, then witness the testimony and cross-examination. Self be read the defense witness testimony and cross-examination, and be same way so read statements them when the three accused people have been make to the Salone police. All then testimony and cross-examination, read the democracy may not update the public during the term where the witness they have be the gonna court inside different term them for talk about waiting and sabi inside the alleged treason case. After the judge don't read all the summing up, and be asked the jurors them for give fair judgment to all the accused people them. Self Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be asked the jurors them for go inside and engage, for give justice to the accused people them. 4:30 Santem, the court mean grab and the jurors them in go inside, and Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens been say when the juror then done, make it know so that they go continue with the case. 19 after 7 even term, now be the term where the jurors them return inside court. Judgment starts and the jurors them may free Paulo Conte on count 1 when at treason outside the state be alleged say Paulo Conte may go na state house with gun for go kill President Bio. Self been free Paulo Conte on count 2 up to count 9, count 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. But the jurors them been found Paulo Conte guilty on count 10 and count 11 when having loaded weapon in a public place and keeping greater number of small arms. And self the jurors them been free Sir Anthony Sina and Prince George Hughes inside all the counts charged them with an deeper. Where the jurors then don't get them judgments done, Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be asked Paulo Conte if he gets anything for say, but Paulo Conte be reply say, I no get nothing, my lord. But lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara be asked for make the judge give mercy to Paulo Conte because na enforcing this for Kana court and make the judge same way so look inside the good work them wey Paulo Conte don't do for Salone. And lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara be same way so say Paulo Conte get 80-year-old pikin and all time this pikin he asks when a papa go Kana house for make he see am. So lawyer Joseph Fiji Akamara been big Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens for make he sorry for Paulo Conte. After this appeal, Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens been sentenced retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte for go 2-year jail. Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens be end up tell thank you to the state prosecuting team, jurors and a defense lawyer for retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, Sir Anthony Sina and Prince George Hughes. And Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens end up say he will continue for give fair judgment to all Salone people. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the report.
Salone gets enforced corona case March 31, 2020. And from that time to now, plenty people don't get this sick. But plenty people same way so done well from the sick. After we then clear them go to treatment center and take good care of them. But the sick still in at the country.
Plenty people get message them where they can talk, and some of them message they are not even be true. Now that make Radio Democracy with support from Usiwa, they bring to you special corona updates program. Usa you go to get accurate information about the coronavirus in the country.
This program going to be every Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock afternoon.
And Master Sabi people learn from the well body sector and other people learn self go there for tell you body sick.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. future savings account. Ide school fee savings account. Ide pay advance salary scheme. Ide we branch and they all love Gud Mornin Salone. Okono kenema we dey. Kabala mabogo kakambia we dey. Jala Freetown Lonsa we dey. And my 91. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Me and you. Union Trust Bank. Union Trust Bank na Salone for me. Union Salone Banko. Union Trust Banko.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program Good Morning Salone continue, and this time around we want tell with Facebook via and say, well, we don't able come back online and then can able watch the program Good Morning Salone for today. The program they continue and we come over to the studio guest, we are the Minister of Environment, Professor Gud Mornin Salone. We don't need to talk about the different things them we don't they do for me the appoint her as Minister of Environment. Mr. Minister, we see recently you go on a tour of the provinces for review some act and policy them that the Environment Protection Agency Act of 2008, Wildlife Act of 1972, Forestry Act of 1988, and other one them. Now, let know it really prompt you or why you as minister think say reviewing them policy and act here now the solution to some of the environment problem then.
Yeah, thank you very much. Number one, and we don't talk on before, the environment is very dynamic, things are changing. The law will be there, for example, in 1972, you know the hold anymore. So we say, find them day where they will define people then for poaching, or even the Forestry Act of 1988, for say if you cut tree, they find them be very good at that time, but now they are ridiculous.
Is it that they don't old or they need to work?
They don't old. For example, they will define somebody 5 lions. If you go to a forest reserve, poach, kill an animal. 5 lions. Some of we hardly see 5 lions not. So now with the amended act there, for reflect the current situation. That's one of the reasons there. The second reason is there are issues where they deal with the environment will not be in there at the forefront. They don't exist, but people they not be they take note of her. For example, if you take the EPA Act, 2008, 2010, there was no climate change. Okay, so now there is now going to be a climate change secretariat or department, because when I come, there was a small room called climate change secretariat, that the EPA for deal with environmental issues, just on that issue there. But now we'll get for really promoter, because climate change, ozone, different. These are all issues when about the issues now. Then the second reason. Number 3, I no go say they operate with nuclear safety and radiation, for example, where we do under the Ministry of Energy, where the act say now under the Ministry of Energy, then they're under the Ministry of Environment. We need for change that nomenclature. So those are the 3 reasons there why we go to the provinces for engage people there, and when they do the stakeholder meeting at Freetown next week as well.
All right, so now let me look at the body that we've been sitting on there under the ministry now. Before now we've been not sitting body here, like the EPA, the NPP, and other one them be the work as body them on their own independently. So because they don't they under your ministry now, we not for no any longer see them institutional as body them where they on their own.
No, they not be the they be under different ministries. NPA be under Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. EPA be under the Office of the President. Meteorology be under Ministry of Transport and Information, Transport and Communication, or Transport and Aviation. Nuclear Safety and Radiation be under Ministry of Energy. So now that they accommodate, they can, because these are environmental issues. Therefore,
so what about the departments where they with the Ministry of Lands? We get to do with environment.
Oh yeah. Now, I will want to talk on the organogram, but maybe I will wait for a question, but maybe I can talk about that now. In the Ministry of the Environment, it's a professional technical ministry. Okay? Now I make at the technical self, even though I'm the minister, but I'm also a technical person. All technical meetings where they go, I did it, because that's my own area. So what will they do? We get an organogram we don't develop. We'll get the administrative wing, when at the permanent secretary, the head arm. Then we'll get a professional wing. That professional wing, they comprise of different departments there. Okay? So what you will do, the four staff will be there under the Ministry of, will be there at the Environment Department, under the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Environment, we're now under the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. They would we. Okay? But there's a skeletal staff. 3 of them there, 1 per then go on maternity leave at the US. Then the other one will be there, will be the head, and he's my deputy minister. Okay? So then they would we at the moment. So we don't absorb them until when we create a platform where in all the agencies then, once we go through the legal process, they all come under the ministry, then what will they do? Their areas then, what would I might say, would they get the various 5 different agencies or departments then we can begin open up and take people there for can fill the vacancies.
As you said, don't say them institution here we don't make up of your ministry now been there under respective ministries them. So the appointment, you've been the Minister of Environment, your appointment, you see them as a compensation or not a timely one where the country need at this time?
I believe say now the president in wisdom. The presidency say this country we need to take environmental issues very, very seriously.
And you as person will be done be chairman at EPA, you think say the same way them body are all day to them respective ministries and they will not be they see the issues them as a country with seriousness, will not be they treat them with seriousness.
Correct.
As we get you as the head.
We not be get a coordinated approach, and this is really troubling because they all be there. I begin mention meteorology, for example. They are doing a great job, but mainly on aviation. We need to go beyond that. Okay, we need to get a center, a hub. So that is why funding available with the complete this new building where the New England right opposite to our office. We call it the Environment House. So would there be a one-stop? Anything where they do with the environment, you agency or EPA, NPA, all the kind in one building. You could see say it could be better. We'll be able to work better.
So looking at the organogram you talk about, when you talk about organogram, you talk about the structure of an organization, where for reflect the relationship between other working partner. In terms of this union, how you will make sure say it really reflect let the other agency not feel say you just want to take all thing and just center and just to your ministry?
No, all the agencies then they are independent. I don't say autonomous, I would say independent because we they supervise them. Okay? For example, meteorology still they exist, NPAA still they exist, but now the Ministry of the Environment, now they supervise them. We just oversee the activities then. Because when we get a coordinated approach, where we all they think alike, I think it will be better.
Okay, continue for the between the studio. In name na Professor Gud Mornin Salone and in the Minister of Environment. Don't tell we about in different steps and work them we don't do as the Minister of Environment with other agency them. The program Gud Mornin Salone they continue, and inside the program now we dey look at another issue. The chairman for the Staff Welfare Association and the Freetown City Council, Abdulrahman Savage, and other council will command them inside one protest. There is serious concerns about 3 months now. Council not pay them their salary, and self say from where her worship even Akisoya be mayor, and now they work with them where they work na the council. Abdulrahman Savage talk this inside one interview with Radio Democracy, where some council workman in Freetown City Council be the protest. Wednesday, July 1st this year, in Freetown City Council head office for sake of the better condition of service we then say they not get. We channel Jalo get more on this and gonna report.
Voice of some council will command them the protest July 1st this year for sake of them 3 months salary. When they say the Freetown City Council not don't pay them and set better condition of service when they say they not don't get over the past years. This protest will start around 7 o'clock in the morning. Now the Freetown City Council and head office now Willie Johnson Street inside Freetown. And it draw the attention of plenty people like the Salone police, journalists. Council will command them except for some community people will tap around this community. But what's not the reason we make them council will command here? They do this protest
Abdulrahman Savage, na the chairman for the Staff Welfare Association at the Freetown City Council.
From when the mayor came, I wanted he don't hold meeting with me from 2018. And in that meeting, he promised for increased salary. But when the mayor came, he came with a team we call MDU. Now that team they now they do everything at City Council. Even the technocrats they were in at City Council, they not get access to the job again. They don't hold all the job them. When I then no more they do them. Most people in the can at this office now, they just come, sit down one whole day down and go back. In fact, you don't declare some of the departments them redundant, like the bailiff section, the rate section. They don't declare them redundant because they don't get work for do. Everything now just center down to the mayor. As I talk to you, so now 3 months this, we not get salary.
When they talk for this, the chief administrator na the Freetown City Council, Festus Kale, say for the past 1 year now, the revenue collection at the Freetown City Council don't do up serious one.
Business license was around 36,000 businesses. That's the existing businesses that we discovered when we came. Guess what? When they did this geo mapping, they only discovered 10,000 businesses. So there's something like 26,000 businessts that we are not able to cover. So if you are coming to a system to improve the existing system, it means I was expecting us to have probably collected, to collect 40,000, 45,000 businesses, but it's just about 10,000. Then let's talk about the pricing. The banks, for instance, when I worked in Port Loco, all of the banks were paying 5 million. When I came to Freetown City Council, I met banks paying 2.5 million. So if the headquarter is paying 5 million for its branch in Port Loco, I see no reason why the headquarters should be paying 2.5 million. So we negotiated and they started paying 7.5 million and 8 million. Guess what? With this new mapping, some of these banks are paying 800,000 leons. So it's quite appalling. They never listened to the concerns raised by the staff. They never wanted to tap into the expertise. When I came to this council, market this for instance, we are generating just about 3.6 million per day. We went, myself and my staff, we were out there at Dove Court, Hagan Street, Bombay Market, issuing out tickets. So we moved from 3.6 million to 12, 13, 14 million a day. We did that. We collected 3.6 million for just one market. So we worked in all of these markets and set targets. So we saw our own source revenue jumped from 7.2 billion to about 12 to 13 billion a year.
The chief administrator at the Freetown City Council, Festus Kale, end up call on government for work with the Freetown City Council so that then staff here go able to get them 3 months salary and self-ensure say the mayor begin for work with the council workman them. For sake of all them concern here, wouldn't council workman here always. Make I been talk to the chairman for the Development and Urban Planning Committee, now the Freetown City Council, Councillor Sheku Alassane Jibril Turi, forward 408, we cover Gukupa community. Also have been first action, the reason why make council not pay the work money for 3 months now.
Well, if I can remember in 2019, second quarter or so, now government send money. The third and fourth quarter, I don't think government send money in this council. 2020, nothing up to now.
So you think that will affect the payment of?
Yes, of course, because the money where the staff that they go generate, not treat, when they for run the council say, well, no, pay staff them, you use that for administrative cost. You don't go and sit on a council like this, you don't get light, you don't get vehicle. So by the time they pull the expenditures and the money not again for run the council.
Councillor Sheku Alassane Jibril Toure continue say, not to say the mayor don't pull the work with council command and supposed for do and get to the mayor's delivery units, but say this delivery units just there for support the council and ensure say they able to bring development in the country.
Now what I want for you do, if you're opportune for go through council minutes them, you go see in attendance all head of department, you go see and they say then they can the meetings them. And also for sign check for Communal Bank, I don't think say then we can't take MDU for go sign check now. Meaning you get people and we're responsible. So if you get them when they get the responsibility, they're not taken from them. This is not just another side for council and go augment the council in development for go ahead.
Sheku Alassane Jibril end up say where government through the Ministry of Finance give the Freetown City Council and 2020 budget allocation, then will make sure say then pay them council will command the year for the Society for Radio Democracy. Me, now Chengno Jalo, the report.
GhanaSongs.org. They causing confusion.
But this confused me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for him, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block them all don't scatter.
It like say some kind magic behind this. You want know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement now the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all land shop and building material store na the one whole country.
Call 117 and it's same you begin feel fever.
The coronavirus in a salon now. Na sick, we don't kill plenty people in the world. But if you do what your body will command them, they say make you do. And self report quick. If you fear not say you get sign or any person near you don't get same sign them, it's possible for let the person well.
The well body workman say for let the sickness scatter all sign at the country. If you don't get nothing for go do not eat, sit down na us.
Go dey wash your hand fast with soap and water, or you use hand sanitizer, so that the tumbu go die if you don't can your hand.
When you dey waka, let for go dey touch them wall and they railing them, because you no go know that don't touch them.
Not forget, call 117 if you get person wey sick na you host or you community.
And Osiwa support Radio Democracy for bring this message to you.
The program Good Morning Salone continue, and still between at the studio we get the Minister of Environment, then a Professor Fode Moriba Jawad. We don't need to tell everybody different thing them we don't need to do for make the country get better environment. Continue for the way to inside the studio. As inside the program now, we dey look at another issue. Forget trend for fight against rape and sexual penetration. This make the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs and Legal Aid Board don't open one-stop center them all over the country for tap rape and sexual penetration within the happen. Charles Van the Director of Gender at the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, he talked this in our meeting where the ministry gets with Legal Aid Board, also then signed memorandum of understanding with the Legal Aid Board for tap rape and sexual penetration within the increase in the country. We report Karifa to get more and will now report.
As well for tap rape and other bad thing them, what can happen to a woman and girl picking them, make the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs and Legal Aid Board don't open one-stop center them all over the country for tap rape and sexual penetration. Where don't they happen to woman and girl picking them na the country? Charles Vandy, na the Director of Gender at the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs, talk more about this.
The Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs and the Legal Aid Board, Sierra Leone, have agreed to work together, particularly at the one-stop centers, to strengthen the response to rape and sexual violence. This Memorandum of Understanding establishes the guidelines for our undertakings and commitments to the collaborative efforts, one signed by the authorized officials, that is Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs and Legal Aid Board Sierra Leone. The agreement will guide the collaboration for an initial period of 24 months beginning from 1st July 2020 to 30th June 2022.
Charles Vandy continue for talk about the facility them, where the one-stop center them get.
A victim of sexual offense shall be entitled to free medical treatment and a free medical report from any government hospital in Sierra Leone and from any other health unit duly accredited by the Ministry of Health and Sanitation for the provision of medical treatment for sexual offenses and related healthcare services. Roman 2, medical treatment shall include counseling, psychosocial support, and mental health services. The Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs and Legal Aid Board Sierra Leone hereby agree that Legal Aid Board Sierra Leone shall at least one paralegal to each one-stop center around the country. Paralegals are to either be present at the centers at least twice a week or be on call daily. So, 1. Assist the FSUs to write legible reports that can be considered legal by the courts. 2. Proofread reports prepared by the FSUs to ensure accuracy and eligibility. 3. Advise FSUs on collecting, recording, and keeping exhibits. 4. Ensure timely completion of reports and comprehensive gathering. And
We ask for more, and I am happy that this agreement is going to be done today. This is a long road. Hurdles are plenty. This is a start, and it's really a major first step. And I appeal to you all to follow us with this, to join hands with us. It's a collective fight. Parents have their role, communities have their role, we have our role as government. We're putting the policies and the structures in place. Come with us and let us do this thing together and make this change that everybody wants.
Wey immediate talk, the executive director for Legal Aid Board, Fatmata Clara Kalti Ansin, talk about the importance of the one-stop center then.
The very reason why you have set up the 116 and the one-stop center would be achieved at the end of the day. Because if these cases go to court and these perpetrators walk free, then it defeats the very purpose of having the one-stop center. And we are happy because some of our paralegals who came from Pujeun, from Potloko, Kailaun this weekend, I understand you had a very interactive session, and some of them are even here, Moyamba, that they are now going back and they are going to be able now to work fully with the one-stop center. So I want to talk to the public. Please make sure your complaints are genuine, because when you accuse somebody of a sexual offense, it is going to be taken so seriously that even bail initially will not be granted. And make sure it is not born out of malice, it is not born out of quarrel in a yard, it is not born out of property dispute, not born out of jealousy, it is not born out of neighbor to neighbor. Because the minister takes it so seriously. She has in fact given us edicts to make sure we are able to tackle this problem in Sierra Leone. And since we love this country and we love our people, we will act as amicus.
Fatmata Clara County Ansins end up say this one-stop center go give justice to rape victims and survivor them na the country for the Society for Ready Democracy. Mina Karifa to contest the report.
The program Good Morning Salone, they continue. We still get the Minister of Environment, Professor Fode Moriba Jawad, now the studio, but we look at messages as now. We don't send at the program this morning concerning issues them where we deal with inside this Thursday edition of the program Good Morning Salone. The first message where they look at now the Facebook page, they come out from Dawood Al Islam, where they say thanks to the judges and jurors for such a brilliant decision in the outcome of the treason trial.
This other message here, they say so many institutions and agencies for environment, but still there is no tangible result.
This other message say, please, Mr. Minister, tell us how can an organization apply to be part of the tree planting exercise you spoke about?
This other one is so many plans and policy to be reviewed, but at the end of the day, people will not see what they expect. What is being done to stop the massive deforestation?
Rose Canona Facebook say, too much talk. Go to Regent along the highway and let the minister see houses and fuel station that is being built on lands that the EU spent monies to replant trees. The minister wouldn't say he has not seen those buildings by the newly built Regent car wash.
Another message here, they say, Mr. Minister, if you can identify the problem, why not come up with solution? Most of the houses at the hills are built by people that are rich, that are in higher society. Take action so that people will know that you're a minister with a difference.
This other message said the introduction of tree planting by President Bio through the Ministry of Environment is timely, especially at the peak of the climate change in our country. Amara Alpha 9 send a message there.
More message inside the program, and this other one is, Mr. Minister, kindly use your office to identify the green belt along the Peninsula Mountain and implement a tree planting project to prevent further deforestation.
We look at more messages. This other one say, whole salon, this are in season, and we are yet to get specific structures that have been put in place to ensure there is no flooding.
We'll continue to look at more message, and this one is say, I hope the minister we use is ministry to put an end to the most dangerous trade known as timber.
This other one said, good morning, Radio D. Even though you did not talk about the transport sector this morning, alright. We don't know that you concerned. We want message for the minister. This other one say, Mr. Minister, what is your advice to mining companies and Sierra Leoneans that are in the habit of destroying the land? It comes out from Kalamu na Percival Street.
The last one for me is, Mr. Minister, all these plans and changes, we've had them before, but trust me, Sierra Leoneans need hard hands. If you want to stand out strong, take decision now, especially on houses that are on the hills.
Alright, this other one we go look at. We're going to be my final round for this time. The person they say, Mr. Minister, what new are you bringing to the Ministry of Environment apart from what we've been hearing since you were at the EPA? And from their message and day, we'll come over to the Minister of Environment, Professor Jawad, for us to concern them.
Yeah, thank you very much. These are all great questions, and I will take me time to go through them. The first question actually not to be for me, but the second question, somebody talked about tangible results with many agencies. Well, this is a new ministry, so I don't know really what they talk about, because their agencies, they all be done. And between now and 2024, we want to plant 5 million trees all over the country. So what we do as a ministry, we send out advert to work with NPPA, the procurement office. We get the adverts, we don't send them out. The closing date for them will be the 29th. But we'll go on this consultative tour, now put local, Makeni, Bo, and Kenema. We realize say, a lot of people there, they're not easily aware because of the inter-district lockdown. So we get a quick emergency meeting. We say, okay, let's extend that by another week.